Hey there, guys. What's up? Um, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of this stuff. I wanted to say another word, but I didn't. Tired of this stuff. Ready for some spring. All right, let's get into it tonight. Another little round of snow on the way tomorrow. Some areas will see little, if any, accumulation. Other areas could see a few inches out of this little clipper system that's going to dive down into the area. So here's the setup. Snow's going to start tomorrow morning. Looks like after 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe around 7 even, it reaches our northern counties. Then it spreads south after 7 o'clock. So a lot of this, for most of us, is going to come toward the tail end of the morning drive. Depends on when you leave typically. But if you leave at 7:30 in the morning, then yeah, you might run into snow, especially in the northern half of the area. If you leave at 8 in the morning, yeah, you'll probably run into some snow no matter where you are. It's going to be a quick hitter. Going to wrap up by noon, 1 o'clock. It's not a lot of snow. Again, mainly light amounts. Most in the 1 to 2 inch range. There'll be spots southwest of Cincinnati that see little to none. And there'll be spots northeast of Cincinnati that could pick up 3 inches, maybe even a little bit more of snowfall accumulation out of this next little booger moving our way. Some flurries been trying to fly out there tonight. Most of this stuff hasn't really been reaching the ground, but you might see a flake or two through the evening. Let's head to the north, and we're watching this little batch of snow coming into northern Minnesota tonight. There's a low pressure center riding along the shores of Hudson Bay tonight. Another little low is going to develop as this cold front moves south into the U.S. tonight. And it's this disturbance near International Falls back to Winnipeg. That's what we're watching. That's tomorrow's snow event as it drops down our way. So there it comes tomorrow morning. After 7, we start to see the snow, and you'll notice those little fingers, kind of getting the fingers of snow kind of reaching down at us. You get these little bands, these little streaks of snow. And if you get into those bands, that's where you're going to see a little more snow than other locations. So it's not going to be an equal opportunity for everyone on this snow. But there we are at 8 o'clock. I'll stop it at 9:30, 10 o'clock. You can see that snow overspreading most of the tri-state. And then it's a quick hitter. It's going to be out of here afternoon. So by noon, Cincinnati kind of on the back edge of that thing. And then by 2 o'clock, yeah, maybe some flakes still flying southeast, Maysville, Mount Olivet, over to Peebles and West Union. But then it's completely gone after that. But here's the other setup we have. As the cold front moves through and as colder air aloft moves in, we get an unstable atmosphere, and we start to see these snow showers, maybe even these little snow squalls developing for a period of time tomorrow evening. So if you get under another one of those little fingers dropping down, you could get some additional accumulations tomorrow evening. That looks to be pretty short-lived. By this time tomorrow evening, though, we see that. And then, say, after midnight or so, it's all gone. All right, let's look at some modeling here. I don't do this on TV because if I show you like 5 different models, how can I be wrong if any of them are right? This is the American GFS model. It's showing areas, and this is a low resolution model, really low resolution, but it's showing areas southwest of Cincinnati with less than an inch, about an inch in Cincinnati, and about an inch and a half, maybe close to 2 in our northeastern counties. That's one modeling solution. This is the European model that you hear so much about, and I mean, it's not showing a lot of snow at all. About a half inch to an inch for most. Some spots with over an inch to the east of town. So Maysville, Georgetown, Peebles, Hillsborough, Wilmington, about an inch or a little more than an inch of snowfall accumulation. What we tend to focus on here are the higher resolution models. This is one of them, the graph model. And you'll notice it's doing over 2 inches up in Wilmington, about an inch for Cincinnati. And again, areas to the south and west, I mean, a dusting, maybe a covering on that particular model solution. This is the NAM model, another higher resolution model. And it's shown about 3 inches, just over 3 inches in Wilmington, nearly that much for Hillsborough and about an inch again for Cincinnati, and then southwest of Cincinnati, places like VV, Carrollton, less than an inch down there. And, well, let's show you one more for fun of it. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh model, a high-resolution model, obviously. And this one, too, is showing about 3 inches, just over 3 inches for Wilmington, nearly that much for Hillsborough. It's got over 3 for Georgetown, and that extends up into parts of Claremont County as well, and then about 2 inches for Peebles and Maysville. This shows more for Cincinnati, over 2.5 inches for Cincinnati, and then you got that sharp cutoff again to the southwest of Cincinnati, where places like VV and Owenton and Carrollton, Kentucky, see less than an inch of snow, not a whole lot down there. So those are the different modeling solutions, just a general modeling solution. We have different blends and stuff that we look at too. And as we look at the chances for snowfall in and around the 275 loop, this would be downtown Cincinnati around the 275 loop. I got the chance at an inch or better at 60%. The chance at 2 inches or better for Cincinnati proper, I've only got at 30%. And then it really falls off 3 inches or better, 5%, 4 inches or better, 1%, 0 for 5 or 6 there. Again, that's for Cincinnati proper. Northeast of Cincinnati, though, I'd give you a better chance at the over 2. And at the over 3, I would probably have you at 30. At the over 2, I'd probably have you at 50-50. And at the over 1, I'd probably have you at 70 or 80. So it just depends on where you live here. But there's kind of the general rule of thumb. In blue, I've got a general swath of 1 to 3 inches of snowfall accumulation. To the southwest there, from southern Ripley through Ohio, Switzerland, Carroll County, Gallatin County, Owen County, maybe parts of Grant County. I've got you in the inch or less, we'll say up to an inch category there. And then from Peebles to Hillsborough to Wilmington to Lebanon, I put you in the 2 to 3 plus inch range. If you're going to see more, that's probably where you're going to see it. But you saw in some of those high resolution models that, you know, even some of those models had Georgetown at 3 inches and even parts of Claremont County at 3 inches. So that's why I've got you into 1 to 3, because there's some uncertainty there as to how much you exactly get. There's no uncertainty, though, in the impacts. This is going to be a low or minor impact event for much of the tri-state, save for parts of Warren, Clinton, Highland, and Adams County, where we've painted a little bit of yellow there on the map tonight, indicating the possibility of some more moderate impacts. So, you know, if you get a solid 3 inches of snow or a little bit more, then I would consider that a moderate impact. Thing is, a lot of the snow is going to fall very slowly. It's going to be light snow. So treated roads in that scenario would be in really good shape, because we're going to see temperatures climbing out of the 20s into the lower 30s. So salt works really well under those circumstances with those temperatures if the snowfall rate is really, really light. Now, up there where the yellow's painted, that's where you might see some heavier snowfall rates where the snow comes down faster than it can melt, even on treated roads. So that's where you have the best chance of snow at least sticking to the roads for a short time as it falls faster than it can melt. So that's why we got some moderate impacts painted up there. The winter weather advisory is going to run from 6 in the morning through 6 in the afternoon for the entire tri-state. All right, so let's break it on down for you tonight. Clouds, they're going to stick around. Temperatures in the teens this evening. We may see a slow rise here overnight. And then notice into the morning, we're into the 20s. So temperatures actually come up as this system approaches the greater Cincinnati area. It's after 6, 7 that we start seeing some of those flakes fly. I would say by 7 in our far northern counties. Then after that for the rest of us. So it starts as snow showery type stuff. And then it goes over to more of just snow. And a light to occasionally moderate snow there from late morning to about the 11, 12 o'clock hour. Then it kind of tapers down to flurries after that. But you'll notice as a lot of that snow's falling, we're warming through the upper 20s into the low 30s, and then actually above freezing tomorrow for the first time in 15 days. We think we're going to make it above the freezing mark. So Yellow light up for the morning drive. I'm going to say the yellow light for the afternoon drive, too, as we taper down to some flurries there. But there will be some more snow showers, as I mentioned, into the evening tomorrow. So that could put down some additional minor accumulations of snow. So we watch tomorrow for some potential travel issues. Again, low to minor impacts for most, some moderate impacts in the north and east. And then when another shot of Arctic cold comes after this, we're only talking 22 degrees for a high on Saturday and 30 Sunday. More single-digit lows are in the forecast both Saturday and Sunday morning. So the weekend, yeah, it's going to be pretty cold with this dip in the jet stream over the eastern half of the country. But look at what happens next week. If you're sick of the cold, if you're sick of the snow, we got some warmer air coming. 40s to near 50 degrees coming back next week. Should put us 5 to 10 degrees above normal. Into the middle of February, we start to thaw out above normal temperatures. They're coming back into the picture. So there's the next 10 days for you. Snow developing tomorrow morning, tapering off by the early afternoon, but some scattered flurries and snow showers continue into the evening tomorrow, and then down into the single digits both Saturday and Sunday morning, 22 Saturday, 30 Sunday. We get the 40s back on Monday, going above freezing. That'll be nice. 50 Tuesday. That might be conservative. Some modeling's got us into the low to mid-50s. Some showers, though, arrive by Tuesday evening. Some rain showers, 46 Wednesday. And then still hanging out close to normal there Thursday, near 40. We hang out close to normal next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, too. Could be some rain and snow in there at times going into next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Kind of a mixed bag there. Doesn't look like any huge travel issues at this point other than wet roads. We'll keep an eye on that because each day we do expect temperatures to go above the freezing mark. So if you're just joining me again, let me give you another timeline of the snow arriving tomorrow. Let's reload this. So there's the disturbance tonight up into Minnesota, dropping down our way tomorrow. So after 7 a.m., snow arrives. Kind of picks up through the mid-morning, late morning, then tapers off quickly in the early part of the afternoon. And I'll load my forecast again there. General 1 to 3 for most, less than an inch southwest, and maybe some amounts of 3 or a little more in the far northeast is what we're talking about. So overall, low to minor impacts, but we got some flashes of moderate impact. Warren, Clinton, Highland, perhaps even into Adams County. But one graphic I didn't do is it going to be a nuisance or a shoveler or a paralyzer? In this case, this one here is going to be a high-end nuisance to a low-end shoveler. Maybe a low-end shoveler from Cincinnati northeast, and maybe a nuisance from Cincinnati to points south and west. So that's the deal. Keeping an eye on it tonight. We're going to be on at 10 on Star 64, 11 again on Local 12. We're going to break it all down for you then. But, you know, this one I do expect fairly minor impacts from the... I mean, it's going to be a pain either way. You know how people get when it snows around here, and people are trying to drive in the snow even when it's melting on the roads. You know, that could be a problem. So, you know, if you got to get somewhere tomorrow, get there early in the morning, and then we'll see some improvement hopefully in the afternoon, and hopefully no huge issues out of this. There's going to be accidents, though, more accidents than normal. It's going to be slowdowns. It's just how it goes with this kind of thing. But not a huge snow by any stretch of the imagination. All right, guys, that's all I got. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you at